So today we'll be discussing regression testing, retesting, and if possible, UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay. So do you have any doubts in today's class smoke testing and sanity testing, Ankur?
No, Guru.
Okay, fine. Then we'll continue with the regression testing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just write down the notes for regression testing. It is to confirm that
Yes.
a recent program or code change has not adversely affected on existing futures. I repeat, it is to confirm that a recent program or code change has not adversely affected on existing futures.
Okay.
Second point, whenever there is a change takes place,
Yes.
in the existing functionality, comma, we are going to perform regression testing.
Okay.
Okay, it is to make sure that the previous functionality is not impacted with this new change.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll repeat second point once again. Whenever there is a change takes place in the existing functionality, we are going to perform regression testing. It is to make sure that the previous functionality is not impacted with this new change. Okay, so just write an example. So the code changes could include adding new features, comma, fixing bugs, or updating a current feature. Okay.
1 second.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay, I repeat again the example. Code changes could include adding new features, fixing bugs, or updating a current feature.
Okay.
Okay. So this is about regression testing and the example. Okay. So what here we defining here is to confirm that a recent program or code change has not adversely affected on existing features. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is regression testing. So it is nothing but, okay, I'll just show. So I'm explaining you with real-time example, like live example. Okay, so here like we are taking an example of WhatsApp, as we are well known about this WhatsApp, okay, application. So I'm taking example of WhatsApp for regression testing. Okay, so here like I wrote like a WhatsApp 1.0 version and WhatsApp 1.1 version. Okay,
Okay.
so what features we'll be having in WhatsApp, Ankur?
Like video calling or
First
normal
basic
calling,
will do
chat,
messaging.
yeah,
Okay,
messaging,
and
group
we can
messaging,
check status. Okay,
yeah,
and
status
video
and
call. Okay, normal calls. First we'll mention normal calls. Okay, and create groups. Okay.
okay.
Okay, here we will add payments,
Payments,
attachments, location sharing,
video calling.
video calls. Okay, so like the same application, we are having different versions, WhatsApp
Yeah,
1.0 and WhatsApp 1.1. In WhatsApp 1.0, we are having features like messaging, status, normal calls, create groups. And in WhatsApp 1.1, we have the features like payments, attachments, location sharing, and video calls. Okay,
yeah,
so in first build, okay, so like WhatsApp is a customer and is approaching Infosys guy. So Infosys, company, and is asking in the first release. So he want these features in WhatsApp 1.0, like messaging feature. He want status, normal calls, create groups. Okay, so the developer developed the application with these features, and the tester tested this application whether all these features are working fine or not, like messaging, status, normal calls, create groups. How we will test? So he will do like he will select one contact, he will do message, and he will check whether it is delivering properly or not, and status.
yeah,
So he will add some contacts and he will see the status whether he can able to see the status of other persons or not, and normal calls he will check, he will contact a WhatsApp call connecting to Wi-Fi. He will check whether it is going, whether we can able to do normal calls or not, and whether he can able to create groups or not. So this will be done by testers, and everything is fine. So they deployed in the Play Store, and we are using. Okay, we means users are using, public is using with these
yeah,
features, and WhatsApp is happy with these features. And so in order to increase the in order to increase I mean more to the more number of users, so they want to add additional features. What add they again they contacted Infosys. So whatever you developed, it is working fine, and we want to reach more number of public, so can you please add these features to WhatsApp again. So okay sir, what features you want to add? So I want to add these features like payments, attachments, location sharing, video calls. Okay, so he is asking to add these features to the last features, like old features, along these four,
Yeah.
along these four. So he's asking to add these four also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what they are like, I mean, so we cannot avoid client request. So, okay, sir, we will do. So the developer is adding all these four: payments, attachments, location sharing, video calls. Okay, to this four. Okay, now what will happen in 1.1? All these features 1, 2, 3, and 4. You understand?
Yeah.
So all this will be there here, along with 1, 2, 3, 4 payments, attachments, location sharing, video calls, and in WhatsApp 1.1 you will be sharing, you will be seeing all these
These we.
8 features, completely 8 features.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is called as WhatsApp 1.1. Okay. So now when WhatsApp 1.1 is released, so we are already adding the extra features like payments, attachments, location sharing, and video calls, right? So what is mean by regression testing means, so when we are adding these additional features 1, 2, 3, 4 of WhatsApp 1.1, so the tester need to check after adding these payments, attachments, so etc. So whether it is reflecting on messaging status, normal calls, or create groups. So are they working fine like earlier, or it is changing anything? I mean, it is changing its functionality by adding these extra features. So that is nothing but as regression testing.
Okay.
Okay, so here you see um, that that is the same definition we defined here. It is to confirm that a recent program. What is a recent program here? Recent program is
WhatsApp.
payments, attachments, location sharing, video calls. Okay, recent program is this. Okay, where is this? Our
Yeah.
code change. So recent program means nothing but our code changes. We are writing the extra code for the new
Yeah.
feature, and that should not adversely affected on the existing features. What are the existing features here? Messaging,
WhatsApp.
status,
Yeah.
normal calls,
Yeah.
create groups. Okay, so whenever you are doing any changes, okay, so it is I mean responsibility of a tester to perform regression testing. Okay, so the new features, by adding the new features, it should not affect on the existing features. So you
Yeah.
need to check whenever. Okay, so again after 1.1, so they will come back and say, so please add extra features. So you will release WhatsApp 1.2. Okay, in that way it will be continued in the same way. So whenever it is they are adding extra features means you need to perform regression testing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will continue until if even if there is a minor change in the code, okay, any code, okay, so you need to perform regression. So every day you will be doing the same thing in the office. Once you are once you become a manual tester or any tester, so you will do
Mhm.
regression testing. Okay, smoke testing will
Okay.
be done very rarely. Okay, whenever the first release will be there, so you will perform smoke testing. So every day in the office you will be performing sanity testing, regression testing, and retesting. So
Okay.
until you are a manual tester, so throughout your life, so these are the 3 main testing you'll be doing regularly. Okay,
Okay.
sanity testing, regression testing, retesting. Okay,
Okay.
so any doubts, Ankur? Am I clear with the example?
Yes.
Okay. So the second point is there, right? So here, just see it again. Second example. Whenever there is a change takes place in the existing functionality, we are going to perform regression testing. Okay, so what we discussed here, existing functionality as messaging status normal calls. Okay, so here the change is taking place. What change? We're adding the features to this 4 plus 4 8 like total 8 features, right? So we need to check what we need to check whether it is, so we are going to perform regression testing. That's what we told. Okay, and it is to make sure that the previous functionality is not impacted with this new change.
Yeah.
So the previous functionality is this box. Okay, we should check
Yeah.
by addition of these features whether it is getting impacted or not. We need to check. This is nothing but this testing is called as regression testing.
Yes.
Okay, so another example I can give you. So like health related. So like first time you visited doctor, okay, for I mean fever, suppose you can say fever, okay, and
Okay.
he wrote a prescription for fever, okay, and okay, fever got I mean, so by taking that medicines, so like your fever got reduced, you are active now, but the second day you are getting like stomach pain, okay, some other pains, okay, so like he wrote the tablet, okay, so in the second time like in what he need to write, okay, tablets for stomach pain only. Okay,
Yes.
so like he need then he need to perform regression testing. Okay, so when he's writing tablets for stomach pain, so like again you after taking tablets for stomach pain, you should not get fever, right?
Yes.
Because stomach pain is different and fever is different. By consuming stomach pain tablets, you should not get fever. So he should check, I mean, if I write these tablets, will he get the fever or not?
Yes.
Okay, so is it correlated with this regression?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you
He will.
understand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now you can able to, I mean, if the interviewer asks you like what is smoke, what is sanity, what is regression, you can able to explain now, right?
Yes.
With examples, real-time examples.
Yeah. I
And you
can.
know, like what is the difference between smoke and sanity testing also?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the difference between defect, bug, error, and failure.
Yes.
You can answer them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you are clear with regression testing now.
Yes.
Okay, so like if you want to go automation, okay, so like regression tools are Selenium. So with Selenium, we can perform regression tool. Selenium is one of the automation tools.
Yes.
Okay, so if they ask you which tool regression tool, which tool regression will takes place, okay, you can mention them Selenium.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so then we can continue with retesting.
Retesting.
Yeah, so please note down.
Yes.
It is a it is a procedure
Yes.
where we need to check that particular test cases
Yes.
which are found with some bugs,
We only check test cases in this.
sorry,
Test. We check. We only check test cases during retesting.
I'll tell you, just note down the point, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, until where you write, so under that particular test cases
Until
which are found with some bugs during the execution time.
found with some bugs during.
During the execution time. Second point, it
Yes.
also occurs
Also occurs
when the product is already tested
when the product
is already tested,
is already
tested,
tested.
and
Yeah.
due to some problems, it needs to be tested again.
To some issues, it needs to be tested again. Yeah.
This is called as retesting.
Okay.
In another way, we can also say that, please note in write in another paragraph.
Yeah.
Retesting is running the previously failed test cases
Yes.
again on the new software to verify whether the defects posted earlier are fixed or not.
So fixed or not. Okay.
Okay. In simple words, retesting is testing a specific bug after it was fixed.
Okay.
In the example, you can mention like build 1.0 was released.
Okay.
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 And just make a question, why we use retesting?
To check whether the defect fixed earlier are not occurring in the build.
Sorry, what is that?
To check whether the defect fixed are not occurring in the build, are not still
Yeah.
in the build.
Okay. So you can write here why we use retesting means it is used when the bug is rejected by the developers. Then the testing department test
Yes.
whether that bug is actual or not.
Okay.
Okay. So when it is used means it is used when the bug is rejected by the developers. Then the testing department test whether the bug is actual or not.
Okay.
Okay. So this is about retesting. So for smoke, for regression, except for sanity and ad hoc, we'll be writing test cases for all the testings. Okay.
Okay.
Yesterday also when we are discussing about smoke and sanity, I told you smoke is documented and sanity is not documented.
Yes.
That means,
Yeah.
yeah, so we are writing test cases for smoke testing and we are not writing any test cases for sanity.
For sanity.
Okay. Yeah. So except
Because
for sanity and ad hoc testing, like we will write test cases for all other testings, all other functional testings.
yes.
Okay. So here, like you are asking, the test cases which are found with some bugs during the execution time, right?
Right.
Okay. So I'll give you the example. The same example here. Paint. Go to Paint. So in WhatsApp 1.0, we are it got released messaging status normal calls create groups. Okay, suppose like we are following an like I mean one model like agile model. Okay, so for agile models, every 2 weeks we will be having a sprint. Okay, so in the first sprint, like we are having this features to be delivered, like messaging status, normal calls, create groups. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the developer and the tester has done their responsibilities. Okay. And so in the WhatsApp 1.0, so they have a feature called normal calls. Okay. So they developed this feature and the tester is testing this. So normal calls in the same 1.1 first release. Okay. So tester
Okay.
is, when the tester is testing this normal calls, he selected one contact and he's able to, like, he is trying to call, but the call is not going due to some reasons. Okay. So what they will do, they will raise a defect. Hey developer, so you mentioned this normal calls is working fine, but when I'm selecting a contact and I'm trying to reach him, it is I'm unable to contact him. Okay, so there is a defect something, so could you please fix it? Okay, he will request.
Okay.
So what developer do is it, okay, let me check, I'll come back to you once it is fixed. Okay. So he will try, he will check his code,
Check.
and if it is
Yeah.
working properly, he will say, hey tester, it is working fine. If it is not working, hey, thank you, I have fixed the code, could you please recheck it now? Okay. So what he will do, he will perform retesting now.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier it was not working. He raised a defect. Now the developer fixed the code, and again he is testing the same normal calls feature. Again, is testing. That is testing a already tested feature is nothing but retesting, right?
Yes.
So that is what here we are mentioning it. Okay, so like we need like this oral. So I'm explaining you orally, but what they need, they need documented proof. So what we need to write? So we need to write test cases. Okay. So I opened a WhatsApp application, test case one. Okay. And tried messaging for other people, test case two. So in that way we'll write step by step. So when
Yeah.
normal calls functionality is not working, so that test case we will stop there. So we will mention it as fail, status as fail, because it is not
Yeah.
working properly. So the developer,
Yes.
after fixing the bug, he will say it is fixed, you can test it again. So again you will test. So if it is passed, so if it is working, you will mention the status as pass, otherwise it is
Pass.
fail only.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is nothing but retesting. So that here again, like you can see, so in the example why we are using retesting, I mentioned clearly. So it is used when the bug is rejected by the developers, then the testing department test whether that bug is actual or not. So in the same example, now normal calls we raised a defect, but the developer is not agreeing to that. He said that like he is rejected his bug. No, it is working fine. Please test it again. So what the tester will do? Okay, fine. Let me cross check once again. He will perform retesting again.
Yes.
Okay, so this is nothing but retesting. The word itself, next time. Retesting
Yeah.
means next time. So testing the
Yes.
same for the next time is called retesting.
Yes. We are repeating the same thing.
Yes, we
Same
are
step.
repeating the same thing. So when it is got fixed, we need to test. Okay, this person has fixed this bug. So we need to check again. It is a tester responsibility. So my responsibility, I need to check whether the bug is really fixed or not. So I cannot completely depend or completely blindly believe him, right? So I need to test whatever he said. So I need to test it again. I need to pass the test case as mention the status as pass.
Pass or fail.
Yeah. If it is not working, fail. If it is working, pass. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So here the build 1.0 was released. We just mentioned example. Okay. In build 1.0, there are these features: messaging status, normal calls, create groups. But in out of these four, three are working and third one is not working. So at that time, what you will do? You will raise the defect, and again the defect should be fixed by developer. Again, he will release. So hey tester, this has been fixed. Okay. So just check from your side. Okay, now we need to check again. We need to perform retesting. If it is behaving the same, again you need to mention the status as fail. You need to raise the defect again. If it is working, okay, you just mention the status as pass, close the ticket.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So you understand now what is regression, what is retesting, right?
Right.
Okay.
I got.
Mhm. Tell me, Ankur.
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. Now you are fine with smoke, sanity, regression, and retesting, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just to go through like smoke, sanity, regression, retesting. Okay. Out of all these four topics, once I'll just ask you like a few questions. I'll give you like
Okay.
a 5 to 7 minutes time. So just go through that. I'll ask you questions.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just go through the notes. Done, Ankur.
Yes, Varun. You can ask me.
Okay. So what is smoke testing?
Smoke testing is also known as build verification testing and shallow testing or white testing. It is done to check whether the major functionality of the application is working properly or not. It is known as shallow because we only check the major functionality of the application at high level, uh, and only positive tests are checked on this field, and the developers also perform the smoke testing, and only positive test cases are created and executed for smoke testing. It is intended to find the showstopper bugs,
So what is showstopper defects?
like if we are you know login to the Gmail and with valid credentials, and we are somehow we are not able to log in or navigate to the next page. uh, that is the showstopper bugs, and we can't proceed to the inbox or to the next page, home page, without login.
Okay.
So that will be a showstopper defect or bug. And
So when is smoke testing will be performed and when sanity is performed?
like smoke is performed on the initial stage of the build,
Mhm.
initial builds, and sanity is done on the stable builds which are
Okay.
already released,
Mhm.
but we are testing a new features addition or defect fix.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you write test cases in sanity?
No, we only write test cases for smoke, not for the sanity testing.
Okay. So what is a defect?
Defect is similar to a bug, which is know, find during testing,
Mhm.
like if there is a we are testing an application and it is found by testers in
Okay.
the test
Mhm.
when we are testing any application.
No, but what is the definition of defect? So like suppose you are a manual tester. Now I'm the interviewer. Okay. So you are a manual tester and you raised a defect to the developer. So what is this defect? Why you are raising the defect?
Defect there, you know, we are checking an application, we are performing test cases on an application, and uh, for any feature
Mhm.
uh, there is a bug, like
Okay.
we are uh,
So I
I'm taking
understood that you know about defect, but you should not tell like this. Okay. So defect simply you can tell the interviewer if the actual result is not matching with the expected result, then it is called as defect. That's it.
okay.
Okay. Because I think you are applying as an experienced guy only, right? Or a
Yes,
fresher.
experience.
Okay, so when you're applying as an experienced person, so when they're asking what is defect means, you should tell the same simple. When the actual result is not matching with the expected result, so then we will raise it as a defect. That's it. So what is
Oh,
actual result? So whatever the developer is developing, right, it is called as actual. And what is
correct.
expected? So whatever the client is giving us in the BRD, it is the expected.
Yes,
When both are not matching, it is called as a defect.
defect.
That's it. So they will. These are the main questions, Ankur. What is defect? What is smoke testing? What is sanity? What is the difference between smoke and sanity? And what is regression testing? When you will perform regression testing? What is retesting? When you will perform retesting?
Okay.
Okay. And sometimes if you are giving like 3 years, so they will ask like what is the difference between defect, bug, error, and failure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why when I'm teaching particular topic, so like I'm telling this is important, this is important. So just don't leave it blankly, and you'll be getting the questions on SDLC also. Can you explain the phases of SDLC? So you need to explain in detail. Okay, so if you explain in, I mean, all this. Okay, if you are suppose like we completed, I think, 1 week of training. So in this 1 week of training, if you're able to get these questions, if you answer, it's okay. 50% of interview have cracked only. So rest of the 50% they will not, if you explain in these topics very well, so they will believe that you are a good tester, they will hire you. So rest 50% is nothing. So if you're able to answer at least this 50% also, you can crack the interview.
Okay.
Okay, so just go through whatever am giving particular notes, and if whichever I'm saying is important, so just concentrate on that again. Okay, so this is
Okay.
purely theoretical. Okay, so like they will be not asking you to write any code in the interview. So they'll be
Yes.
either asking you all these questions, and they'll be either asking you to write the test case. Test cases only 5 to 10% companies will be asking. Otherwise, rest everyone will be asking the questions only. So it is easy
Okay.
to crack the interviews. So whenever I'm saying it is important, I'm giving any particular note down, or and I'm giving this is an interview question. So just concentrate on that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So any doubts, Ankur?
Mm, no doubts. Actually.
Okay, fine. So let me know if I'm again I'm asking you if I'm going anywhere speed, or if you are not explaining, if I'm not good at explaining other topics. So like if my examples are not correlated, or you are not understanding my examples, just let me know. I'll teach you another way. I'll give you another example.
Okay. Varun.
Okay, so my intention
Okay.
is like the topic should be clearly understand, so such that if anyone is asking you in the interview also, if you are not able to explain the definition, if you are giving a real-time example, so that also like it will give you a positive impression on you. So that's why I'm giving the real-time examples like health related and WhatsApp related. So all these technologies and health you will know. So I'm choosing these examples and giving you.
Okay.
Okay, so just let me know wherever you got stuck, so I'll help you out. So my training will be completely different from others' training. So no one will ask you at the middle of the class to go through the notes and ask you the questions again. So my intention is you should get placed somewhere, as you paid like 5,000 for me. So like I would be happy if you got placed, and even like if you got placed, you will tell to your friends because of this guy. Like I got understand these topics very well. He said with examples. You will say, right? So self-realization, I mean, this would be more happy than the, I mean, money, right?
Yes. Of course.
So that was my intention. So whatever I'm teaching, so it should be clearly understand. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So sure. Okay, we'll continue this topic UAT testing and end-to-end testing tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, Varun.
Yeah. So till now, like you can go through the notes again, as it's been 1 week. So like if you are free, so you can go through it, the notes at any free time. You can ask me the questions if you are having anything tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
Uh,
Ankur. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm saying, please repeat about the difference between, you know, bugs, defects, and failure, error. Error is while the
So
developer is
yeah, whenever
compiling the code at the time of programming or
yes,
coding,
yes, right.
and defect is like when the actual result is not matched with the expected result.
Yes.
And failure, what is failure?
So if build is not
Definitely.
meeting the client requirements, then it is called as a failure.
Okay. Yeah, definition. I
There
was
definition is not, there would be no definitions, only for defect there would be a definition. So this, like, whenever they're asking you, so you should able to tell them, that's it. So I mean, so they will ask you, why they will ask you means, whether this guy is know, like, what is defect, what is error, what is bug. Okay, so
Yeah.
they will be majorly 100% they'll be asking like error, defect and bug difference only, not failure. So error,
Okay.
a mistake in coding is called as error. Defect, when actual is not meeting with the expected. And bug,
Yeah.
whenever, I mean, so daily we are discussing. So we will raise a defect. And when developer accept the defect in that environment, it is called as bug.
Yes.
Okay, for tester it is a defect. For a developer it is a bug.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, this is the difference.
Okay. Okay, Varun. Thank you.
Okay, Ankur, thank you. Any more
Okay.
doubts?
No.
Okay, then thank you,
Okay.
Uncle. We'll meet you. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.